Today we're going to look at the worst lords in Magic the Gathering. I'm going to start with the Mind Whip Sliver. This is a black 2 generic 2/2 summon a sliver. That's how they used to say it in Magic the Gathering. You summoned your creatures. Now, the slivers are well known for being like the lords of all lords in Magic the Gathering, but some of these lords are absolute stinkers. Each sliver gains pay 2 mana, sacrifice this 1 creature, and target player discards a card at absolute random. You know what? We don't even know what we're gonna get. All I know is that I'm gonna lose one of my creatures in play. And also I'm gonna lose the 2 mana that I sank into this stupid thing. Anyway, this is a terrible sliver. It's absolute abomination. And with that in mind, remember what the rules are for slivers. Slivers have an ability that will give the ability to other creatures that are on the battlefield, and ideally in the same creature type. All right, let's take a look at Toads. Toad's always here very early. The Kobold Taskmaster. Now, I think under normal circumstances, this wouldn't be the worst lord in the world, but it's on a kobold, and all the kobolds are terrible. This is a red 1 generic 1/2 kobold. Other kobold creatures you control get +1/+0. But we all know all the other kobolds are like 0/1s. You've literally turned like a shrunken 0/1 nothing into, I don't know, a measly 1/1 creature. You can just smack and peck people for 1 damage. All right, next up we got our first super chat from Kyle Driver. Yeah, it has been a minute, hasn't it, since I caught alive. Hope you're well. I'm doing great, Kyle Driver. In some ways, I am a victim of my own success. The custom Magic the Gathering part of this channel is above and beyond too popular. All right, we're gonna donate that super chat to Julian with the adaptive automaton. This is a terrible lord. 3 mana 2/2, which is already like a pretty poor rate. When it enters the battlefield, you choose a creature type. All right, I choose hippopotamus. Adaptive automaton is the chosen type in addition to its other types, which is a construct. Other creatures you control get of the chosen type get +1/+1. So we've spent 3 mana for a really crummy lord. That's right. This card is absolutely terrible. Okay, we have a lot of people for the Steam Flogger Boss. Steam Flogger Boss. We have Beanpot wants the Steam Flogger Boss. So Steam Flogger Boss, 3/3. Oh, it's the Goblin Rigger for 4 mana. Now the other Rigger creatures you control get +1/+0 in haste. All right, they want to get into that red zone. There is a problem. I think there are like almost no riggers in this game, like almost nothing. And if a rigger you control would assemble a contraption, it assembles 2 contraptions instead. Is this preloading like a, what's it called? It's preluding, I think, an unset of some sort. See, the contraptions wouldn't come in. I don't know if contraptions even came into existence until the unsets came around. So this was basically a stone question, big old question mark on everyone's mind. How does this card work? When are we gonna get more of this creature type? Well, it will almost never happen. All right, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Banovsky. Good afternoon and good evening to everybody who's showing up whatever time zone you're in. Larry Law with Roga of Carekeep. Is this? Oh, wait a minute. I think I know what this is. That's the really expensive guy, right? 6 mana! It's a 5/5 creature, though. At the beginning of your upkeep, unless you pay triple red, an opponent gains control of our Rogra of Carekeep, and all creatures you control name Kobolds of Carekeep. Oh my god, we're just like donating the entire army to them!
No! God, please, no!
If a player gains control of creatures this way, tap it. Well, that's the only saving grace around here. Creatures you control named Kobolds of Carekeep get +2/+2, but at what cost? If we can't pay the rent on this Roga, then they're gonna repossess it. Our opponent's gonna repossess our stuff. That doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. It's not like they lent it out to us or anything like that. Okay, next up, let's take a look at Islarv's Frostwind Invoker. 5 mana for a 3/3 flyer. Pay 8 creatures you control, gain flying until end of turn. Not a lord! Have we forgot what a lord is? Remember, the creature has to give all other creatures... It's a static ability, alright? Lords are static abilities. They are not activated abilities. Just because I activate an ability and give all creatures some ability doesn't make it a lord. Doesn't work like that, especially on this show, that's for sure. Oh, what makes it a lord? It gives -X instead. What makes it a bad lord? It just has to be like clunky or awkward. Remember, not all lords buff the creatures. They might give some other ability. Okay, Alex with the Goblin Pyromancer. How's it going? It goes well. We got a 4 mana 2/2. Now, when Goblin Pyromancer comes into play, all goblins get +3/+0 and end of turn. And end of... Oh my god! At end of turn, we're blowing up all our goblins. This is awful. This is something you want to give your opponent in some weird, crazy way. We have to moment of silence for all our goblins. Imagine we play the Goblin Pyromancer, then our opponent goes, I don't know, silence with... Is it silence with kicker? I think that's what it is. No, Orum's chant with kicker. And then target player can't play spells this turn. If it was kicked, they can't attack this turn. You're just like, oh god. So a lot of ways to blow it with Cryptic Command would blow out the goblins player. Okay, yeah. Goblin Pyromancer is like, okay, boys, good job. Now scram. What's going on here? Do you see this? This goblin is scratching their butt with some sort of fire back scratcher. Anyway, this is terrible. What an awful card. There's a bit. They basically burn bright and burn quickly. Okay, next up. Lords also have to be creatures, right? That's right. Thank you for asking in advance. Coral Commander's not gonna... is this gonna count? Do you know what? Maybe we're gonna count this one. Coral Helm Commander. I'm barely counting this one. So, in the beginning, it's not a lord. In fact, in the beginning, it's a grizzly bear. It's pathetic. But if we sink 2 to 3 mana, it gets flying. It found its wings, drank some Red Bull. And then when we give it to level 4, other merfolk creatures you control get +1/+1. The only problem is you have to put like so many down. You have to put a down payment just to give it flying, and then keep giving it additional payments until we can get that +4/+4. But in the way that the mana economy is these days, I won't be able to pay for that damn thing. I'm getting taxed up the wazoo. Can't even play creatures for their own mana cost anymore. Did we do this one? The Steam Flogger Boss? It was years until it had an effect? Yeah. We did that one already. You're right. Okay, Yo Little Ted with Anaba Spirit Crafter. Okay, we have a 4 mana 1/3. The Minotaurs get +1/+0. That's right. Get in there. Get in there, Minotaurs. We've got our Lord. It's not quite Lord of Atlantis, but it's the best we can do. And the next best thing you can do is play with a bunch of changelings, I suppose. We got another super chat coming here from Jess. Thank you so much. Oh, do you want to get the Plague Sliver? Oh, is that the one that kills all the other slivers? So that you can't even use this in your own sliver deck. It's a 4 mana. It's 4 mana 5/5. All slivers have, at the beginning of your upkeep, this creature deals 1 damage to you. So good versus slivers. Good versus changelings as well. Is there any other way to like actually abuse this card? What's interesting is it's like a what's that? What's that black creature from back in the day from Arabian Nights? It was literally just a 4 mana 5/5. And basically, it's trash by today's standards, but it's like $500 because of nostalgia. That's basically this card. Except this one like pings you for 1. Or I think the other one pinged you for like some amount of damage too. It's a Djinn of some sort. I don't remember what it is. People will start throwing it all in the chat soon though. Gwen says, I took this one out of my Merfolk Typal commander deck. Level up is bad for it. Oh, level up is terrible. It's fine, like, super in the late game if you're in, like, a slowish, if you have, like, a slow play group. But if it's, like, CEDH, no, never gonna happen. Hamad with the Blessed Orator. Very blessed. The 4 mana, 1/4. Other creatures you control get +0/+1. That was just the white thing to do, right? They like buff themselves up. They like their toughness. This is for them wall decks. You have like these 0/5 walls, and you play with the Blessed Orator, which is basically a wall. It's funny, other creatures. Should have given it to all of them. Should have buffed itself up. Oh yeah, I was thinking of Juzam Dejin, wasn't I? Jay Jones with Soraya the Falconer. This is a 3 mana 2/2. All Falcons get +1/+1. How many Falcons are there in this game? 2 mana. Target Falcon gains banding until end of turn. Well, let's go on a little bit of a treasure hunt. Okay, type, creature, Falcon. Falcon Punch! There are 0... Can't be 0. Creature, Falcon. Did I spell it right? Falcons. Oh, they errated it to bird. It actually got a huge upgrade. So it looks like it's bad. This got supremely buffed up. All birds get +1/+1. Yeah, they're birds now. I guess Wizards at some point was like, well, there's so many birds in this game. Are we really gonna have like a specific creature type for the Falcons? Target Falcon gains banding until end, so now it's target bird. Well, okay, this card actually still is poop, but it's a lot. It actually was a lot better than we originally thought it was. Infinitely better. The Space Pirate from none other than Space Brood Warden. You think this is bad? I know what this card is. Hope that's not a repeat. It's not a repeat. I think this card is absolutely insane. If you think it's bad, okay, well, you super chatted it. 5 mana for a 4/4. It's already, like, that's decent. And Eldrazi spawn creatures you control get +2/+1. So the idea is you play this, and we got more Eldrazi spawns. They just reprinted a bunch of them in Modern Horizons 3. So this thing actually upgraded in value. You have, like, a bunch of those stupid tokens. Like, what are you going to do with them? You play the Brood Warden, and all of a sudden you have, like, it's better than... You think of all the token decks that play with anthems to buff up their creatures. I think the Brood Warden is great. Assumed it would be too slow in oh no, in Modern it's terrible. It's not, but all these cards are terrible. The show is definitely not for Modern play. If you're like an exclusive Modern player, let me know. I have no idea. I need to get more data on my viewership group. I assume most of you are Commander players. I just assume so. Bandit Keith, the Nut Collector. Collected them nuts. 6 mana for a 1/1. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may create a 1/1 green squirrel creature token. That is the slowest army ever being built of all time. Threshold, all squirrels get +2/+2 as long as 7 or more cards in your graveyard. What's with all the restrictions? This card is absolute stone trash. All right, so enters the battlefield. Nothing. I got absolutely nothing out of this card. Next turn, I get 1 squirrel. I need, in order to become a lord. It would have been fine even without the threshold. Where did this come up? It came from Odyssey. Oh, it's an old card. Yeah, 6 mana for a 1/1 creature. This card was probably bad back then. You know, they were holding back squirrels. I guess this is really close to the Hermit Druid era, so maybe like squirrels were like, "It danger!" This is an era where squirrels danger, so they have to be really careful making it too busted. A little too busted. But this card absolutely is not busted whatsoever. It's absolute trash. Julian only plays Modern. That's good to know. Meme Bruley with the Mirror Galvanizer. We got 3 mana 2/2. Other mirrors get +1/+1. Pay 1, tap, untap each other mirror you control. That's not bad. I think that gives all the mirrors pseudo vigilance. Not to mention, there's a lot of mirrors that add mana. It's probably, I don't know. Maybe lords are not that important in the mirror archetype. For as far as I know, Mir has like a lot of crap playables. Okay, next up we got Chen with the Zombie Master. The Master of the Zombies is a 3-mana 2/3. Other zombies have Swamp Walk, and also other zombies have pay a black, regenerate this permanent. I love it. We've got unblockable, but we're also regenerating them at the same time. Can't regenerate itself though. Pathetic. So it's like it's almost like an easy solution. Oh yeah, I can't kill this creature, so let's kill the Zombie Master first, then we kill the other creature second. Criteria. Does it need to be a creature to be on this? It needs to be a creature. Lords are creatures. Otherwise, they're just anthems, as far as I know. Okay, we got where's Quadri? Okay, Steve, Jess, and Toads. That's not a card. Okay, Quadrizzle. Guerrier, the Wind Lord. I spelled this right? I spelled it right. We got a 6-mana 4/4. It's a bird noble. Now the spell costs 2 less to cast as long as you've drawn 2 or more cards this turn. So just cast a brainstorm. And then flying vigilance. Other birds you control have vigilance. Absolute poop ability. What the hell do we need that for? When I need to give my Baleful Strix vigilance? It'd be dangerous. It would be pretty good. Steve Cooper! Having trouble finding bad lords, so let's just donate to 3 people. You got it, Steve Cooper. There's is there really a card called Bad Horse? It's bad in the name. No, it doesn't exist. Isn't this a zombie now? Yeah, well, you mean the Zombie Master? It is a zombie, but they've errated these, like, it probably used to say Lord. Let's go to the Summer Magic version. See, it said summon Lord. All zombies in play gain Swamp Walk and get regenerate. But the thing is, it wasn't a zombie itself, so they errated it, just like Lord of Atlantis, Goblin King, and the rest of them. It's a zombie, but then they say all other zombies get the ability, so it doesn't count. It doesn't buff itself. Whale of Darkness with the Kanji Aerial Keeper. A lot of bad. So what you guys are telling me is that there's a lot of bad bird lords. It's a blue-white 2 generic 2/2 legend. Kicker of 2 and an X. That's expensive. Flying. When Kanji Aerial Keeper comes into play, if you paid the kicker cost, put X feather counters on it. All birds get +1/+1 for each feather counter on Kanji Aerial Keeper. That is insanely expensive. The card's 4 mana by itself, and I have to get 7 mana to buff up my creatures only once. This is I'm gonna bankrupt myself trying to get this thing in play. Okay, Gwendolyn's got something. The Sulfur Elemental is only bad if you're dumb enough to be playing white. But okay, if your opponent might be playing white. Oops, I didn't spell sulfur right. I don't know my sulfurs. Okay, we got a 3-mana 3/2 flash. Split second. White creatures get +1/-1. Oh yeah, it's like this is a weird lord, because this is like I mean, it's sort of a lord for other people's creatures. This is a really weird hate piece. This looks like it should be more popular. I should have heard of this card before. I never heard of this card until now. Looks like it was like unbelievably good during the humans metagame of like 4 or 5 years ago. I just didn't see any play. All birds, Kanji is symmetrical. Oh my god, is it? Other birds, bird creatures. You're right. Other birds. Wow. So we work so hard to give our creatures +1/+1. We also accidentally give all the other bird creatures +1/+1. Unbelievable. Air Tempest with Arcades Sabbath from Legends. Blue, white, green, 2 generic for a 7/7 flyer. And at the beginning of your upkeep, you gotta sack it unless you pay the bent. And each untapped creature you control, only the untapped ones, not when you attack, gets +0/+2 as long as it's not attacking. Again, no attacking around here. And then you can pay a white. You can pay a white to buff it up 1 toughness until end of turn. This is a very, very expensive card to barely defend your creatures with. King Ginger says, have we done... yeah, we just did. Yeah, we did Annaba. We did Annaba. Nizira with Verdeloth, the ancient one. This is a 6 mana 4/7. Kicker of X. Sapling creatures and other tree folk creatures only get +1/+1. But when it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, we get X 1/1 sapling creatures. This is actually not the worst card. So if you're in a green deck with a lot of mana, I mean, you'll just spew the board with a bunch of 2/2s in play. Pabno! Thank you very much for your super chat, Pabno. Thundering Spineback. I think if you're doing Dino Aggro, it's too much mana. If you're doing Dino Ramp, then it's a +1+, then the +1/+1 is a drop in the bucket. This is a 7 mana 5/5. Other dinosaurs you control get +1/+1. I love all these like 7, 8, 9 mana cards. Okay, now we're buffing the creatures. And for 6 mana, we get a 3/3 green dinosaur token with trample. Making babies. Thundering Spineback. Getting it on. Someone's got to get it on. Okay, Chris Bonehead. Kobold Overlord. There's so many bad Kobold Lords. The Overlord. 2 mana for a 1/2. Kobold creatures you control at first strike. You know, you're all making me wonder. You're making me wonder here. How big and deadly would the Kobold board be if we had the best Kobolds in play? If I could tutor onto the battlefield every best Kobold in the game, could I win? Is it possible? Or is it just a measly board of like a few buffed up creatures with first strike? I've got no idea. Not a clue. Alright, King Ginger with the Battleground Geist. We got 5 mana 3/3 flying creature. Other spirit creatures you control get +1/+0. This is not even a very good lord for what it does. Other spirit. It should also say all your other spirits have flying, because I don't think every spirit has flying. That could save it a little bit. Just a random mage with Corona the False God. Corona. Oh, it's False God. 6 mana. Including Wooburg. It's 5/5 haste. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player untaps Corona and gains control of it. Whenever Corona attacks, creatures of the type of your choice get +3/+3 until end of turn. Not a lord! That is a triggered ability. Must be static ability. We got Bryce, the Lord Magnus. We got green, white, white, 3 generic for a 4/3 first strike. Creatures with Planeswalk or Forced Walk may be blocked as if they did not have either ability. What kind of lord is that? That sounds like such a weird situation. I don't even know. Is this even a lord? I mean, it's lord by name. It sort of has a lord ability, or maybe it doesn't. It's creatures with Planeswalk or Force Walk. No, this is actually technically not a lord. It did not give an ability. Basically just said that everything we already have can block creatures. I don't know, does creatures with Planeswalk can be blocked as though they didn't have Planeswalk? Creatures with Force Walk, I don't think this actually gives an ability. It's like an anti-lord. Yeah, this is very relevant. Okay, next up we've got, oh, poor Ecos! You got sniped! Blake Sliver's an anti-lord. It is an anti-lord. But we did look at it already. So we're gonna donate your super chat Ecos, or you can give me another one. Kamigawa spirits are mostly the flightless ones, I think, of all the Geists flying. I don't understand why. I don't understand why a spirit wouldn't have flying. You're dead. Like, what's holding you down to the ground? Why is gravity relevant to you? Suddenly boop. Nadu Winged Wisdom. He's so bad he gets you kicked out of your playgroup. That's it. Actually, that's an OP lord. I don't know if anyone mentioned that on the last show. Okay, let's Celtic Guardian. How about the Legion Lieutenant? We have a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh references. I didn't realize how many Yu-Gi-Oh references are in chat. Black, white, 2/2. Other vampires you control get +1/+1. You and I'm in agreement with you. This card's terrible. Any like 2 mana buff up all your creatures, it's just bad. They're just terrible. Oh, look at that. Christopher B has decided to show up. Paragon of Gathering Mists. This is a 4 mana 2/2. Other blue creatures you control got +1/+1. At least it's not. It's a very flexible card. Pay blue, tap another target blue creature you control gains flying until end of turn. There's some people that this might be disqualified because it's not of a creature type, but at the same time I'm going to be slightly lenient because last time we did this show, I had to disqualify half of your suggestions. It was insane. We did the Steam Flogger. We did the everyone wants that Steam Flogger on here. Steam Flogger super, and we did Plague Sliver. Fortunately, the most popular ones have been done already. Beanpot with Armament Master. White, 2/2. Other core creatures you control get +2/+2 for each equipment attached to Armament Master. That is a super situational lord. So not only do we have to cram a bunch of core creatures in our deck, we need to cast equipments. We need to equip the Armament Master. And at that point, like, what is the point of all the other cards? You know, aren't we just focusing on the Armament Master in the first place? It's like both abilities are in complete contradiction with each other. Nikachu should have the world record for typing the most names of Magic cards. Well, I don't type the full name. I'm a bit lazy. I type half the name. I type it wrong pretty often. All right, we got Steve Cooper. Steve Cooper found one, fellas. Titan of Eternal Fire. Titan of Eternal. See, I didn't write down fire. 6 mana, you still pay big to ping and donate 2 to chat. You got it. 6 mana for a 5/6 giant. Each human creature you control has pay a red, tap. This creature deals 1. Oh yeah, this is a weird lord. Each human creature you control, it's not even a human itself, gets the ability pay a red, tap. It deals 1 damage to any target. What is that? Like it's not like a Tim, because those things just tap to deal damage. Anyway, rubbish. Absolute, complete rubbish. David Sampson, Fairy Noble. Homelands knew how to print the lords. Oh, they did they? 3 mana, 1/2, flying. Other fairies you control get +0/+1. Oh, by the way, tap it, and other fairies you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. So it's like, hey, show up and I'll give you half. You go into combat, I give you the other half. That's the deal around here, all right? You want that Skrilla? I'll give you the buff. I only give you half at a time. All right, you heard the music. It's time to thank our sponsors, starting with FusionGamingOnline.com. Don't change that dial. We're going to look at more terrible bad lords in the game. We do have to thank our sponsor. Deal of the week this week. Save 15% off all special guest and promo single packs. So I love special promos. I'm a huge fan of all the new art we can get into this game. Like, you know, from Endurance, what is it? Morbid Opportunity, Lord of Atlantis, Grief, Carnage Tyrant, Solitude. You can get them all at FusionGamingOnline.com. Don't forget, if you're looking to upgrade your decks with the new Bloomborough Cuteness, you can also do that at FusionGamingOnline.com. Use coupon code Nikachu at checkout to get 5% off all your purchases. We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. When you're playing on Magic Online, you're playing every paper format possible. Pauper, Modern, Pioneer, Standard, and you get to rent all the decks. No matter what the metagame is, when you're renting with Mana Traders, you can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 10% off your first 2 months using coupon code Nikachu_IEP. Back to Fairy Nobles, and so on. All right, let's It is the ad time. What's the definition of a lord? I'm glad you asked. So a lot of people didn't seem to understand it last time. Okay, it is going to be a creature that gives a static ability to other creatures. Ideally in the same creature type. But I will be a little loose on it. Given like how many mistakes there were when we did the best Lords show. Yeah, you gotta save money on that cardboard crack. Use coupon code Nikachu at checkout. Okay, who hasn't got a card yet? I don't know if Rustin Serpentine got a card. Armored Sliver. If you haven't got a card, you let me know. Did I write this right? Armored Sliver? Are you saying plated sliver? Think you mean plated sliver. You're lucky I even knew what you were talking about, Reston Serpentine. Yeah, this is garbage. It's a white 1/1. All slivers get plus. I mean, it's effectively a 1/2 because all slivers get +0 +1. Pretty garbage card. Well, you try to say it again. Oh, is there another one? Armor sliver. So instead of armored, oh, there is. Okay, we have a 3-mana 2/2. All sliver creatures have pay 2. This creature gets plus. Oh, it's even worse. We have to pay 2 mana to get the same +0 +1. This is armored sliver. Strictly worse than plated sliver. This card was so bad as it was. This card got infinitely worse. Absolutely worse. Which one came out first? This came out in Legions? I think this came out way later, so that actually this was just a purely buffed up card. It was a strictly better armored sliver. They're like, no one plays armored sliver, why not? Oh, let's just make it strictly better. We got Duke Firebird with Empyrean Eagle. I believe this gives all the flyers +1/+1. 3-mana 2/3, a flyer. Other creatures you control with flying get +1/+1. Really awkward. It actually has seen competitive play, believe it or not. This actually saw play in Spirits for a very short period of time. Jay with the Great Bow Doyen. This is a 5-mana 2/4 elf archer. The other archers get +1/+1. That's exactly what the archers needed to get buffed up. Whenever an archer you control deals damage to a creature, that archer deals that much damage to that creature's controller. What, from blocking? Does anyone have an archer deck out there? Oh my god, this is $5. Alright, somebody has an archer deck out there. I better not offend the archer community. The archer Discord gonna come get me. I'm not sure what there is out there. Okay, Jess, thank you so much for your super chat. Dormant Sliver. With so many great slivers they made a bunch of stinkers, that's for sure. I'd never use it. Jess speaking probably as a sliver player. 4 mana for a 2/2. This is actually not old. All slivers have Defender. Why? All slivers have when this permanent enters the battlefield, draw a card. What are we, a wall deck now? How do we turn slivers, which is arguably a decent aggro combo deck, into a wall deck? Everything's Wall of Omens and Wall of Blossoms. Dormant slivers are key. Key to do it, to make it happen. Okay, next up we've got the Night Zera with Spore Crown Thallid. Spore Crown Thallid. What's a thallid? Like a plant? 2 mana for a 2/2. Each other creature you control that's a fungus or sapling gets +1/+1. Excellent. Okay, we got Pabno. Donate 1 while I try to find another. Okay, that's totally fair. We're gonna donate to Forginka. Apparently Forginka. No card yet. The NCY. Arcus Acolyte. Well, I get +1/+1 if you can give pay 1 for +1/+1 counter. We have a green white for a 2/2 human cleric archer. Another archer. Reach lifelink and outlast. Each other creature you control without a +1/+1 counter on it has Outlast of a green. Well, yeah, exactly. So we're literally not even giving the creatures +1/+1. We're making them pay for their +1/+1. It's the only way to do it. Picamio, we did this one. We did Plague Sliver. I think you're the 10th person to suggest Plague Sliver. We can't do Plague Sliver over and over and over. We can't do Plague Sliver every 5 minutes. Okay, next up we've got something from chat. Hexanort with Ixidor. Reality Sculptor. Gonna buff those face downs. Hey, don't be talking too bad about Ixidor. Those face down creatures, they're tricky. They're tricksy little cards. 5 mana for a 3/4. Face down creatures get +1/+1 and pay 3. Turn target face down creature face up. Which also defeats it. Actually, you know what? This card is so bad. Like, all it's doing is buffing Grizzly Bears. It's like Grizzly Bears get +1/+1. Oh, and for 3 mana, if I turn the face down card face up, then it's not face down. It doesn't get the buff anymore. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. All right, King Ginger, Ogre Slumlord. Does it buff ogres? 5 mana for a 3/3. Whenever another non-token creature dies, you can get a 1/1 black rat creature token. And rats you control have Death Touch. Interesting. Make rats. Dirty rats. Give Death Touch to them. Just a random mage. Again, Quadrizzle, we did place. You're the 11th person. Zuberi, Golden Feather. This is another. Oh, it's a griffin? That's interesting. Okay, so we can't. So it's really literally griffins. 5 mana for a 3/3 griffin. A legendary griffin of all things. Flying. Zuberi Golden Feather counts as a griffin. Other griffin creatures get +1/+1. All right, okay, that's the errata. The errata is, if anyone wants to, flying other griffin creatures get +1/+1. I find that interesting because it's not for birds. You know, we can't have falcons, but we can have griffins. Griffins are different enough. Are they really all that different? What is a griffin? Is it a damn flying thing? Or is a griffin like a flying lion? Anyway. Zeeper with Private Eye. Is that a card? Doesn't really sound like a card. It is! Alright, we got 3 mana 3/3. Other detectives get +1/+1. We're buffing up Batman. And whenever you draw your second card each turn, target detective can't be blocked this turn. It's not. It sounds actually really good, to be honest. I bet there's just not that many detectives in this game. How many detectives? I'm gonna look up. What, Thraben Inspector? Type, creature, detective. I have to know. There's 73 detectives. And just a brief look, they're terrible. They're all bad. If you want to make a Detective Kindred deck, well, boom. That's your lord right there. It's a homunculus detective. Okay, a griffin is a mythical creature with the body of a lion and a head of a wings of an eagle. Well, I guess it's different enough. But it also sounds like there's just not many griffins, period. Jaren, with the Lord Magnus. This is a... Oh, we saw this one. I also disqualified it. Anyway, we're going to donate your super chat. Thanks so much. We'll give it to... Who hasn't got a card yet? Griffins are the family from Family Guy. We got Funny Person in chat. We got Funny Person. Hinaria. Balthor the Defiled. Four mana 2/2. Zombie Dwarf Legend. All minions get +1/+1. Also black. Remove Balthor the Defiled from the game. Each player returns all black and red creatures from their graveyard to play. On all minions. I'm sure there's just not many good minions. Remove this thing from the game. Each player returns all black and red creatures from their grave. This actually looks great. Like, it's probably a crappy lord, But it's a pretty good creature. I mean, 4 mana, that's pretty reasonable. 3 mana to reanimate everything, also pretty reasonable. Muscle Sliver, it's not that bad. Muscle Sliver is like a, isn't that like a 3/3 in play? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a 1/1 that's automatically a 2/2. Ecos is like, I mean, his name is Lord, I guess. I think Magus is also a glow up in the 40k universe. So even Lord Magnus. Lord Magnus. Quadrizzle with Crime Rampant in the multiverse. Is that a card? Crime Rampant. Sometimes I can't tell if a comment is a card or not. Nope. We'll go to Toilet Duck. Toby. Basti Befriender. This is a 3 mana 1/1 human wizard. When Toby enters the battlefield, create a 4/4 white beast creature token. With this creature can't attack or block alone. And as long as you control 4 or more creature tokens, creatures you control have, oh, they have flying. That is a lot of work to pull that thing off. Ecos is back. Ecos got disqualified earlier. Chroma's Devoted. Very devoted. All right, we got a 4 mana, 2/4. Attacking doesn't cause clerics to... Okay, so basically, clerics have vigilance. Because this card itself is just absolute trash. Suddenly Boop, stealing from Christopher B. That's okay. Christopher B already got a card. Here, look, we're gonna just credit. But crediting is good. People like being credited. Well, what was that card again? Suddenly Boop. Okay. E-Core Plate. Christopher loves when he loves it when getting credited. Okay, 3 mana, 2/3, Phyrexian Golem. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, if it has 1 or more oil counters on it, put an oil counter on it. And then creatures you control with oil counters on them get +1/+1. A terrible lord. This is like a lot of work to get this lord online. What is this, just a bad limited card? Next, we got Banovsky. The Dormant Sliver combos with the Stalwart Shield. We got a white, 1 generic, 0/3, human soldier with Defender. Other creatures you control with Defender get +0/+2. That combos with what? The Dormant Sliver? I don't remember. Creatures have Defender. When this creature enters the battlefield, draw a card. I don't know how this is a combo. Other creatures you control with Defender, like it just buffs up your slivers, I guess. It's a terrible combo. This is a bad combo that does barely combo. Okay, take a look at this one, please. It's the best worst lord, the Thrall Champion. Champion? Okay, this is a 5 mana 2/2 Thrall. Thrall creatures get +1/+1. We can also tap to gain control of target Thrall as long as you control the Thrall Champion. Oh, so you know what we can do? We can swipe the Changelings. Changeling. It must be really weird being a Changeling player. Like, super awkward. Because there's, like, so many of these, like, random cards that just get ya. The randomly bad cards that very nichely in the right deck, in the right situation, it's the right opponent. It's all over. Okay, Banovsky also has a card. Another bad this is not the bad combo show, damn it. What, Veteran Armorer? Is at least one of these things a lord? Oh, it is. Okay, we've got Veteran Armorer, 2 mana 2/2. Other creatures you control get +0/+1. Terrible card. And then Veteran Swordsmith. Oh, is this gives +1/+0, doesn't it, for 2 mana? Veteran Sword. Oops, come on, Veteran. I'm not spelling any of this right. There we go. Veteran Swordsmith. Other creatures you control get +1/+0. And together they can act like a really bad Lord of Atlantis. Zeeper says, we need more Thralls. They're cool. Station Disaster. Abzan Falconer. If I remember correctly, this is not a Lord. I don't think. Oh, it is a lord. Okay, 3 mana for a 2/3 without Last of a White. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has flying. Really crappy lord. Aidaki! Quack, quack. Okay, Sashi, daughter of Sashiro. It's... These snakes are so weird. They got, like, multiple arms like a spider. It's a 4 mana 1/3 snake shaman. Other snakes you control get +0/+1. Shamans you control, it's a double lord. Have tap, add double green to your mana pool. That's insane. That's actually a really good ability. First ability is garbage though. Second ability is gonna also suck because I think there's like literally like 30 shamans in this game. There's like barely anything. Christopher V says, I don't need 2 minutes behind. I don't need credit. I just like expanding people's awareness of the game beyond the same top 100, 1,000 EDH tables. You know, Christopher V, you come off as the person who has like 1,000 commander decks and it's filled with all sorts of weird cards that no one's ever heard of. Every card in your deck is a reader. Next up. Okay, Kano. The Dalek Emperor. There are only 5 other cards that are or create the Daleks. Oh, it's a 3D generated card. 7 mana for a 6/6. Affinity for Daleks. This actually gets in play pretty easily. And the other Daleks have haste. At the beginning of each combat on your turn, each opponent faces a villainous choice. The player sacrifices a creature they control, or you create a 3/3 black Dalek artifact creature token with menace. I honestly think this card's insane. This is too strong. It's affinity for Daleks though, so there's not that many. Okay, at the moment I guess it's trash because I'm assuming you have to pay the full retail of 7 mana. But if they make enough Daleks, I mean this thing's busted. I mean it's just supremely busted. Isn't there like a Dalek generating commander? I'm pretty sure there's like a commander that like makes a Dalek every turn. Or maybe I'm just making things up. Thomas, congratulations. You are the 13th person to suggest Plague Sliver. Sorry, Plague Engineer. Oh, I thought you said Plague Sliver. Okay. Plague Engineer is technically one of the worst lords if you choose right. You mean choose your own creature type? But hold on, isn't it like other creatures of the chosen type your opponents control get -1/-1? So it actually can't be of the bad choice. You can never choose your own creatures. Because it only affects your opponent's creatures, which is dumb, isn't it? Plague Engineer should affect everything, every creature on the battlefield. It's like, okay, I am a plague to goblins, but only your goblins, not my goblins. How stupid is that? New York City Street Poet says, give me a sword and I'll kill a few enemies. Veteran armors, flavor text is the best. Okay, we got Aidaki with Chief of the Scale. It is a black-white 2/3. Oh yeah, this is the Warrior Lord. Other warrior creatures you control get +0/+1. I actually made a warrior deck for a insanely casual play group once. It was entertaining to say the least. Oh, we got Pabno. What do you got for us? The Menghua Barbarian King. Costs too much, you say. Menghua. It is 5 mana for a 4/4. And other green creatures you control get +1/+1. I agree. They're probably just trying to teach people what a lord was in general. Okay, we have some explanation for the Plague Engineer. He engineered the cure for the plague as well. Ooh, I like that. Basically gave the antidote to all their own minions and then released the virus on the enemies. David Groves with Jasmine. Boreal of the 7. Because of what you need to be doing it to make it good. There's 2 Jasmine Boreal. What does the other Jasmine do? The other Jasmine is absolutely stone cold nothing. It's a very pretty art for a card that does absolutely nothing. Okay, this is a 3 mana 2/4. It's a human druid. Tap to add a green and white. Spend this mana only to cast creature spells with no abilities. It's very much in the bloodline of this deck. Wait, this is just a deck of making vanilla creatures? Creatures in control with no abilities can't be blocked by creatures with abilities. This is an absolute abomination. This is a real Magic the Gathering card. This is a real modern day Magic the Gathering card getting the Titanic sound effect. This is terrible. Absolute trash nonsense. Lil MX Doom with the Orc General and the Orcish Captain. Orc General? Yeah, let's look at the Orc General. This is a 3 mana for a 2/2. Tap, sacrifice another Orc or Goblin. Other Orc creatures get +1/+1 until end of turn. Not actually a Lord, not a stack ability. So you say the Orc Captain? The Orcish Captain! Doesn't even look like an orc. Red 1/1. Pay 1. Flip a coin. If you win the flip, target orc gets +2/+0 until end of turn. If you lose the flip, it gets -0, -2 until end of turn. Also not a lord. These are all activated abilities. They're entertaining. They're terrible. I'm not... You are right. They are awful. Borderline. They're just absolutely useless. Another plague card from Henrik. Plague Nurse. It's like if the card has the word plague in it, it's terrible. It's a curse to the card. 4 mana for a 3/4 Phyrexian Cleric with Toxic 2. Pay 3. Each other creature you control with Toxic gains Toxic 1 until end of turn. This is also disqualified. Also not a lord. Are we like falling apart here at the end? Okay, Picamio. Picamio asked a lot of questions about what was a lord, what's not, and has released on us the what is it? Escarpment Fortress? Escarpment Fortress is a 5 mana 3/5 defender with reach. Other creatures you control get +1/+0. Well, that's pretty useless because you're a damn wall. And whenever you attack with 2 or more creatures, you get to draw a card. That's not bad. I like the card draw part of here. The orc decks have terrible supports. I wonder if orc is like, is that like, well, I guess it's probably not panted by like the token estate or whatever. Probably not. Probably anyone can use the word orc as wizards used to do all the time. If you turn Yavimaya into an elemental with Nissa, is that a lord? No. I'm not counting it. We have a kobold! Another kobold from Zeeper. Kobold Drill Sergeant. Or did we do this one? No, I don't think we did this one. Okay, this is Titanic levels. 2 mana for a 1/2, and get this. We're gonna give our creatures trample, and we're also gonna buff up the stats, but the wrong stat. Other kobold creatures you control get +0/+1 in trample. That's great. We could end up having like +0/+3 creatures with trample, and they'd be just completely stone cold useless. Absolutely useless. Next super chat from New York City Street Post. What about Soraya the Falconer? Oh, did we do this one? I can't. Soraya the Falconer. Oh, we did this one. Sorry about that, New York City Street Post. Unfortunately, got a little... You didn't really get sniped, but like we did it already. So we're gonna donate this one to... Thomas, allow me to repent. With what I expected, Plague Engineer, to be Kervek the Spiteful. Kervek the Spiteful is a 4 mana 3/2 human warlock. Other creatures get -1/-1. And now everything shrinks. Although, to be honest, if you play this card, you're usually doing it in your advantage. So, but you could possibly accidentally do that to yourself. It is possible. Dustin, Crested Sunmare. Why? Because it's like so insanely narrow. This is literally the best horse in the game. It's a 5 mana 5/5. Other horses you control have indestructible. Good luck finding any other good horses. Also, some of the better, like, horse-like cards are actually ponies or some other stupid creature type, like a unicorn. At the beginning of each end step, if you gain life this turn, create a 5/5 white horse creature token. Pretty bad. I mean, like, the problem with it's, like, good by itself. If you can clone this a million times, then it's great. But otherwise, there's, like, literally no support for the Crested Sunmare. It's a army in a can. There's no other way to do it. Julian wants redemption as well. Ruff! The underdog champion. Where's our underdog champion? I don't see it. Does it exist? Is it on the other side of this thing? No. Okay, hold on. I'll look up underdog champ. Underdog champ. Oh, it's not even a real card. Okay, 4 mana for a 3/2. All hounds are dogs. We'll errata this to be true. We're wizards. We can do anything. We can do anything except ban Nadu off of the BNR announcement schedule. Okay, we have first strike, lifelink, underdog. If you've lost a game this match, card name and other dogs you control get +1/+1. Now, this is the only reason this is going to get better is if you're already losing. iDucky! You gave me a nice super chat. There's nothing attached to this. What do you want? Okay, I gotta look up iDucky. Okay, iDucky wanted Zuberi. Did we do this one? The Golden Feather? We did that one, iDucky. You got sniped! I wouldn't say you got sniped. I can't even say you got sniped. We did that like a million years ago. Okay, give me another one, iDucky. I'm gonna keep an eye out for you. I'm gonna get an eye out for you. Yeah, some of you are getting here too late. Gotta be more creative. This was a great one, though. We had a lot of discussion about Zuberi. Okay, what do we have not done? Anyone else has not got a card? I think almost everyone's got a card so far. The cameo with escarpment. Oh, no, I think we did that fortress one. We'll give another one to Christopher B. Christopher B works so hard. Cavalry Master. It's very specific. How specific, Christopher B. 4 mana for a 3/3. Human Knight with flanking. And other creatures you control with flanking have flanking. What? Huh? I don't get it. Can they stack or something? Other creatures you control with flanking have flanking. Well, of course they have flanking. They already had flanking in the first place. Whenever a creature without flanking blocks this creature, the blocking creature gets minus. I guess they get -2/-2 this time? Otherwise, this doesn't make any sense. It's like all other creatures with haste have haste. As far as I know. Yeah, talk about narrow. Oh, it says they stack? Each instant of flanking triggers separately? Ah, okay. Then it should say, like, each creature with flanking gets flanking too. I don't know. Flanking flank. The flank. Skitherialt GTS. Avon Brigader. Another bird. For when you can't decide which kindred you want to build. Okay, we've got a 6 mana. We got a 6 mana flyer. It's a 3/5. Other birds get the +1/+1, but other soldiers get the +1/+1 as well. It'll go great in my bird soldier deck. Honestly, a lot of birds are soldiers, so if you pair up as many of those as possible, then you actually get +2/+2. 6 mana is terrible, though. Who would play for 6 manas? Okay, iDucky, you throw another one into the grinder here. Do we have another one from iDucky? We got one from Toilet Duck. We got a lot of ducks in the chat today. Wandering Rescuer is a lord for tapped creatures. How useless is that? 5 mana for a 3/4. Flash Convoke. Double strike. Other tapped creatures you control have hexproof. Oh, you want to kill my creature? In response, I shall convoke something in play. I think we did this one too. Annabeth Spirit Crafter. Yeah, we did that one too. We got that one as well. Hinaria, the Frost Fair Lure Fish. This is a 7 mana 7/7 fish. Enter the battlefield, create 2 1/1 blue fish creature tokens and 2 tap treasure tokens. Fish you control have haste and can't be blocked by humans. It's got foretell. I don't understand the logic here. I just don't get that one at all. Like, what makes the fish have haste? What makes a fish fast? You know what I mean? Dinglebag, did we do Gallows Warden? Gallows Warden is a 5-mana 3/3 spirit with flying. Other spirit creatures you control get +0/+1. Did we do this? I think we did. No, we didn't do this one. I think we did another one that was like really similar to this one. It was also like 5 mana and barely buffed something up at the same time. Gustav. Ramses, Assassin Lord. That's a new one out of nowhere. Okay, so this is 4 mana for a 4/4. Death Touch. Other assassins get +1/+1. Whenever a player loses the game, if they were attacked this turn by an assassin you control, you win the game. So it actually makes the Lord part sort of redundant for the most part. It's like a complete, like, okay, if they were attacked this turn by an assassin you control. Oh, sorry, they have to lose the game though. It's not completely redundant. Isn't Ramses a win con? They can be bad lords and a win. Hey, Lord of Atlantis! That's my win con, but it's a very, very bad lord in the game too. I'm surprised no one named Lord of Atlantis. Ask any competitive modern or legacy player. They'll say Lord of Atlantis sucks. There we go. It's the Lord of Atlantis. I'll allow it. Just because I can't convince the rest of the world that this card is actually good. I just have to quietly remind myself. Starfire Dragon, Goblin General. Suddenly Boop, just on the topic of Ramses. I've never seen Ramses win, LOL. They get teamed up on early. It's called being the threat at the table. The Goblin General, 3 mana 1/1. That's not very big for a goblin. Whenever a Goblin General attacks, goblin creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. What a actually not a lord. It's a triggered ability. We have, Command Knight from Knock Knock. Well, maybe that card doesn't exist. Okay, if Lovisa Cold Eyes is too good, how about Knight of New Alara? If not done. No, we didn't. We definitely didn't do that one. Okay, so this is a 4 mana 2/2. Each other multicolored creature you control gets +1/+1 for each of its colors. That is a weird one. Sort of a vanilla it's like sort of a vanilla creature though. Just says, you have a mailing address? It's in my description. It's been there for forever. You wanna send me something? If you send me something, let me know. So I can like sort of anticipate. I haven't gone to my damn P.O. box in like for forever. If anyone sent me some, I hope no one's, I mean, if you send me like a letter, it's probably fine. I'll just get it when I get it. If you send me a big package, I gotta be there real soon. Okay, we've got Zeeper with the Battleground Geist. This is a 5 mana 3/3. Oh, that's what we were looking at earlier. Anyway, we saw that one. Steve Cooper. Of course, with the super chats. We did Coralhelm Commander. So you were probably there. Okay, we have 3 donations. Okay, we can always trust Steve Cooper. Rogue Shod Mentor. Christopher B never misses. 6 mana for a 5/4. Green creatures you control have trample. May not be the worst thing in the world. This is the 12th. You know Restian Serpentine. You've been there the entire time. We did Plague Sliver already. We did Plague Sliver. Alright, what we got here? Picameo with Mist Dancer. Mist Dancer, 5 mana for a 3/3 flyer. Other merfolk you control get +1/+0 and have flying. What the hell is Encore? For 7 mana, exile this card from your graveyard. For each opponent, create a token copy that attacks that opponent this turn if able. They gain haste. Sack it at the beginning of the next end step. Oh my goodness. And then we've got, what else? Adriana Defiant Captain. I don't think this is it. Is this it? Melee. Whenever this creature attacks, other creatures you control have melee. Oh, this is probably what you were talking about. So it's a 5-mana 4/4. What is melee? Whenever this creature attacks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each opponent you attack this combat. I have no opinion of this card. David Groves. Grass. Unstoppable Juggernaut. Not sure if bad, but sure weird. 8 mana for a 7/5. Juggernauts you control attack each combat if able. Juggernauts you control can't be blocked by walls. And other creatures you control have base power and toughness 5/3 and are Juggernauts in addition to their other creature types. I'll allow it. Okay, we got more super chats, like from Pabno. Plague Sliver ×2. So basically what you're saying is, we're donating. We're donating, Pabno. It's a very cute way of saying, let's donate some cards. Chris Bonehead with Frontland Felidar. Oh, it's Frondland. We got a 4-mana 3/5 Vigilance creature. Creatures you control with Vigilance have pay 1 tap target creature. What a weird ability. Is that even good? Okay, next up, let's take a look at Zeeper's Master Breeder, Emdrek Sar, Master Breeder, the True Thrall Lord. 5 mana for a 2/2 human wizard. Whenever you cast a creature spell, create it. X 1/1 black thrall creature tokens, where X is that spell's mana value. Whenever you control 7 more thralls, sacrifice Endrick Sar, Master Breeder. Not a lord. Nadzir with Kessig Naturalist. Well, lots of Kessig cards. 2 mana for a 2/2 human werewolf. When Kessig Naturalist attacks, add red or green until end of turn. You don't lose this mana as steps and phases end. And then the other side, of course, so the second side to these cards. The Lord of the Ulvenwald. And is actually a lord. Other wolves and werewolves you control get +1/+1. And whenever it attacks, add green or red. Until end of turn, you don't lose that mana. It's one of these stupid Daybound, Nightbound cards. They're awful. Zaynaz says, I love your videos about MTG history on the other channel. I don't even play MTG. I got there from the Yu-Gi-Oh videos. Oh, well, welcome from, the one Jame. Great promotion for me. Okay, Turiat with Shadowfax. The Lord of Horses. The other good horse in the game. It's a 5-mana 4/4. Horses you control have haste. Whenever Shadowfax Lord of Horses attacks me, put a creature card with lesser power from your hand onto the battlefield, tapped and attacking. You can attack with more horses. Ducky with the Bringer of Bones. Is this a card? Actually, I'm not sure that's a real card. Did you, Google that? Okay, hold on. I gotta look this up. Bringer of Bones MTG. Hold on. Copy. Where's the address? Copy image address. So it ended up happening with iDucky, and this is not the first. This is not the first, second, third, fourth, seventh time this has happened. You guys Google up cards, and you end up finding a custom Magic the Gathering card and then show it on the show. The Bringer of Bones, a custom Magic the Gathering card. 2 mana for a 2/2. Each other skeleton you control gets +1/+1. It's not even a creative custom Magic the Gathering card of all things. It's a pretty terrible card. Wasn't even good. I imagine Bringer of Bones to be a dog more than a skeleton. Yeah, the Bringer of Bones. Bring me more bones, dog. Yeah, I might have Googled it. You might have. Uncle Google and Aunt Wikipedia usually saves us all. Okay, just a random mage. Asika, God of the Tree. Saying this one's bad. Bad as a lord. I've never seen it played as a creature. You might be right about that. Okay, 3 mana for 1/4 Vigilance. Tap, add 1 mana of any color. Other legendary creatures you control have Vigilance. And tap, add 1 mana of any color. So what, basically everyone's just using it for the Prismatic Bridge? Is that what you're telling me around here? Is that the idea? Yeah, it happens. Don't worry, it's not the first. It's been a while, to be honest. It's been a while, but like, I think over the history of Coffee and MTG, easily over 10 times that's happened. That's why I like to Google it, just to confirm that it was something that got Googled. Pedgeman, I don't even know if Pedgeman got a card today. Gath, Thane of Contracts. 3 mana for a 3/4. Other creatures you control get -1/-1. Yes, it absolutely does count. So we have a card that shrinks our own stuff. It's a 3/4. Pay 3. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste. If this creature would leave the battlefield, exile it instead of putting it anywhere. Activate only as a sorcery. Absolutely hilarious. King Ginger's not done yet, though. Haven Brigadier. What? Haven. Maybe we did this one. Or we did. Oh, we just did. I swear you were around here, King Ginger. You've been around. Anyway, you got, I don't know. This is not even a snipe at this point. It wasn't even in queue. Like, we did this a few times. Or King Ginger might be just behind 15 minutes on the stream. Dustin with Mayura. Avon Paragon. Mayura. Come on, just Avon Paragon. Okay, I'm gonna look this one up on Google too. Mayura. I bet this is not a real card either. You people are getting desperate. You people are getting absolutely desperate. Yeah, this is a fake card too. Copy. Where is this? Copy. Open image in new tab. Copy. Here's another one. We got another one. Or I don't know. Maybe I'm getting trolled at this point. We have a 3 mana 2/3 flying vigilance. Other birds you control get +1/+0. Spells you cast that target a creature you control with flying cost 2 less to cast. This is actually insane. So I'm getting double trolled. This is a good lord. If it was a good, if anything, it's a very, very, very good lord. Does Evil Eye of Urborg count? Evil Eye of Urborg. 5 mana for a 6/3. Non-eye creatures you control can't attack. Whenever Evil Eye of Urborg becomes blocked by a creature, destroy that creature. This is yeah, I will count it. Basically a lord for our non-eye creatures. Don't know why we're playing non-eye creatures in our Evil Eye of Urborg deck. I didn't even see the payoff here. It's a Misty custom show, just randomly. Okay, King Ginger wants some redemption. King Ginger wants his money's worth here. Balthor the Defiled. Oh, we did this one. Do you have another one? Yeah, we did Balthor. Balthor! Quickly, King Ginger. The show's about to end. Zeeper with Corrosive Mentor. 3 mana. Black creatures you control have Wither. They deal damage to creatures. That's a weird lord. Yeah, I think that's pretty useless. You got that one, King Ginger. Come on, you got one left. You can do it. You can do it. We're rooting for you. Blade Stitch Scab. Is this a custom card too? No, it's not. 2 mana for a 2/3. Other zombies you control get +1/+0. All right, that's it for today. What a hilarious, that was a funny show. It was funny. We had a lot of fun too. That's all that counts on Coffee and MTG. So thank you for joining me today. If you want to be part of the show, you got to be here 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. I say this every show, and everyone always asks me, when do you stream? I got it everywhere. It's in the description. It's over there. I don't know, maybe I should put it in the title. Thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron, a member on YouTube, or use Super Chat to be part of the show, or even Super Chat so other people are part of the show. But most importantly, we've got to thank everyone who shows up today and is part of the show. People like Steve Cooper, Christopher B, King Ginger, Beanpot, Cytherius, we got Ecos, Gwendolyn, Toilet Duck, Toads, Reston Serpentine, Starfire, Dragon, we got David Sampson, Kano, Chris Bonehead, Ferginka, Toads, Pabno, Hedgeman, Hinaria, Sunly Boop, because you guys are the show. So as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing up them coffees, and we'll keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you at the next cup.